Hey, good afternoon. It's Sunday, close to noontime here in Chicago. Real quick, Ammo 101 today. I'm going to talk about some FFC rounds that I make. And, guys, I hear, real quick, let's touch this here. I believe steel balls on the ends, the weight at the end's going to fly better. Truer, I think you can aim better and than putting weights inside and things like that. But again, opinions are like assholes and everybody has them, but I make them both ways. Some guys that don't make them this way say, oh, you got to put them inside. I think that's bullshit. And again, you got to understand we're shooting 20, 30 feet with these normally for what they're designed for, self-defense, less lethal. So, come on, you know, you're not shooting 100 fucking yards and expecting these to stop somebody. That ain't going to happen. Okay? But again, I make them both ways. So these are 9 point something. These shoot, I've shot hundreds of these through the FFC. So this is my FFC round. It's very similar to this, except it's an open front. And this thing weighs 9.6. These are my enclosed. These are normal, traditional FFC rounds. Okay, but I make them differently. You know, when guys put a ball bearing in there, if you put a ball bearing and it ain't perfectly in there, you're going to get wobble. What I've come up with, and I didn't come up with shit, but I found these 1 gram metal discs. They're wafers, like they're steel. And I print my blanks and drop them in. So every time I drop a blank in there, it's a gram in weight. So these things can be probably anywhere from 3 up to almost 7 if I want to do it. But then the more I load in here, the less what I do is I hot glue the end in to hold the weights in. Okay? But I'll be honest with you, these things are made for the size of that hole and they don't wobble. So if they're in there and they're hot glued in, I think you're going to get a truer flight out of these. Okay? My opinion. But again, I make them both ways. This is my HTR and HDS shotgun stuff. Take a look at the ridges on these things, man. These are deeply gouged ridges. These are made with the wafers. Okay? This is made with a smaller steel ball, but this weighs about 7/8, again, for the HDR and the shotgun. And again, this has some detail to it. So I don't make steel balls, metal balls, plastic balls, and I'm not going to beat up anybody's product. They all have a purpose, okay? But the shit I make it for a reason. And again, this was about this today. I'm going to try these. This is my HDR stuff. Again, I make them both ways with the ball exposed and enclosed, and I still think that this is better. Some guys are going to argue the fact. But this I want to try in the HDP. Okay, this might work in there. I had some the other day very similar to this, but ridges on the bottom, and they kept jamming, to be quite honest. So I'm going to see if this will run through the HDP. But most times I use them rubber steel balls in the HDP and the HDP compact. Okay, that's it. I'm again more of a FFC guy. I do build FFCs. I'll be honest with you, I buy Sterling parts. And, you can say what you want about Sterling, but the shit he makes is good. I know he's Dan Sterling, but I'll tell you what, he's the only guy I know in this fucking community that really makes stuff. Not that he's a big innovator, but he takes things and he improves them and makes them better. And he's the only guy I know making shit. So you give Dan some credit. And this ain't a fucking commercial. He don't give me shit. I pay for my shit just like anybody else, which is why when I make a build, I end up building them for fun because I can't make any money when I'm done buying his parts. But this shit does work. All right, I'm going to clear out of here. I'm going to make a video today shooting these red ones that are about, well, here, let me wait. I'm sorry, I bumped the tripod. Hey, something new for me. Really getting tech here. But these are about 5.5, 5.6, okay? Which I believe is a better weight for FFC. Unless you're playing with a 70 joule one, or you maybe want a 9.5. ball. The reason why I don't say shooting steel balls and shit through these things, at least in the servo's going to launch the ball. Okay? And probably, hopefully on impact, if you're shooting solid stuff, these are going to break away because they're printed. And that's it. I'm trying to make this under 5 minutes, and I'm there. So adios. Go safe.